In older houses, sometimes we run into a problem where we have a lead pipe for our toilet drain, and these old lead pipes sometimes don't have a toilet flange, or the toilet flange rusts. So we have to sometimes replace those flanges so that the floor doesn't rust. Fortunately, Oatly makes a very nice toilet flange cover that you can put into and over the lead pipe. Here I've installed this Oatly toilet flange that has a rubber ring around the bottom into the lead pipe toilet drain, and this will serve to provide an anchor for the toilet. And it's important to drill the tap holes using a 3/16 inch stubber drill. It's for drilling into tile. That's 1/16 less than the 1/4 inch diameter Tapcon screws that you're going to need. So what we're going to do today is we're going to install the toilet flange into our brand new tile floor in our bathroom, and then after we do that, we're going to install the Perfect Seal. This is a wonderful product that just came out on the market. It's called the Perfect Seal wax ring with bolts. They give you a whole brand new set of bolts. These are called Johnny bolts, and I'm going to be installing these Johnny bolts, and I'm going to be securing the wax ring. So I've covered up my toilet hole, or the S-hole if you want to call it that, with some towel, and I've got a stubber that's a 3/16 stubber, and our goal today is to tap these so we securely put in our toilet flange. The reason why we want to make sure our toilet flange cover is firmly in place is because we don't want back pressure. Back pressure will cause leakage, and that leakage will rot your floor. So today we're going to just start out by what we did is we put in the toilet flange, and we put it so at these parts where there's this little keyhole is parallel in the horizontal direction, so that when we sit the toilet, the holes are gonna be right here. And we'll open up their wax ring here, and this is really great because it comes with everything you possibly could need. So we have our Johnny bolts. Our Johnny bolts are going to go in right here on both sides. Okay, and then we're going to mount this on top, and then we're going to put our toilet over this. The instructions make it clear on how to do that, but today's video is predominantly on drilling back in the tile, and we're going to use this stubber so that we can put these Tapcon screws in. So let's go ahead and begin by doing that. So I have this. Now what's great about this stubber, this is a carbide bit stubber, and you can see in my prior video I showed which is the right drill bit to use when you're drilling tile, and this is talked about in one of those prior videos. So we don't actually need to have water. So we can actually do a dry drill. So I'm going to start doing that. Let me just make sure that the camera completely sees as capturing all this. Yes. What we'll do is let's go ahead and come in and get a closer view here. So the work we're going to do. today. Okay. So what we'll start out by doing is make sure you cover up your toilet hole, because you don't want to lose these Tapcon screws or anything else that you're doing. You don't want to lose it. So let's just start out by putting in our 3/16 hole. This is very hot, so don't do what I just did. I need to create some length because I have to go down a little bit. So, okay, have we broken through a little bit? I don't know. It might be a little crooked, but. So, when you do this, you want to apply hard pressure down. And you'll be able to tap that. So that's going to go there. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Let's do it over across. What we're winding up doing in here is we're actually going to be going through grout. This one's actually also going to go into grout. So I don't really need to have 4 screws. I don't need to be drilling in the grout. There's no strength there. And that one's positioned over grout. So this one's going to go over tile. Okay, so we're just going to do 2 today. But if you're able to line it on a piece of tile where your hole isn't in the corner, most tile people will make sure that their toilet flange hole is put in the corner of the tile. So it's usually grout all around these holes. But if somehow you wind up getting it in the center, then you might be able to put in all 4 screws. You don't need to. This is mainly done to make sure that this doesn't pop up after a flush. So we're gonna now puncture this one. I want to apply vertical pressure. All right, and you can see that just from that experience that this thing moved, and you know what you do really need to screw these down. So we're gonna put our Tapcon screws in now, and I have a pretty strong old school drill screwdriver set, which I'll use for these. Hopefully this will work. Okay, that doesn't work too well. I may actually need to use the drill to drill this Tapcon in. So since, let's just try that. This was the stubber that you should use. So what I'm doing is I'm now putting on a bit for the screw. I don't know how well this will work, but we will give it a go. Okay. It's pretty hard to move these Tapcon screws, so just apply vertical force. Oh. Okay, so just enough to hold it down. You don't want to screw it too hard in because you'll break the plastic. So we can use these for other projects, or if someone wants to buy them from me, you can leave a message. Okay, so I'm just going to check by hand, make sure that that's sort of tight. This is called an impact screwdriver set. And held. Okay, so that's that. And now the next step is we're gonna open this guy up. And put our Johnny bolts in. Like that. And just to make sure we're following the directions. You put your Johnny bolts in, and should be a washer. These usually go on the outside. So this usually is at the top, and so let's we're gonna go ahead, and the next step is to install. So what it says is when you have a toilet flange that's above your tile, like in this case, you want to, you can use this adapter piece. You don't need to use the adapter piece. But since it comes with it and it says it's optional, it's not saying don't remove it. It's not saying remove it. So in my case, I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna use it. I think it'll all collapse for the better. So if it doesn't, we can always remove it. That's what's great about this Perfect Seal wax ring is if you after you've installed everything, if it's not correct, you can undo it. You can take it out. So we're gonna pick up our toilet now. Make sure we get this, get our toilet paper out. Okay. So some people sometimes will leave rags inside and it causes lots of problems. So. So I'm going to be picking up the toilet now, and we'll adjust the camera so y'all can see that. It's again, you should usually get help when you're picking up a toilet. So we're gonna do that right now. I'm wearing flip-flops, I apologize. Where did I get these? I got these in Daytona Beach. This is a very heavy toilet. It's full of garbage and dust. So, let's make sure everyone can see this. What I'm going to do real quick is just going to sweep my floor. Make sure I get all my dust out. Okay. And this has gotten dusty over the time it's been here for the past 3 months. Alright. Alrighty folks, we're gonna